What's up, YouTube land? Bill Mack here once again with Pro Wrestling Unleashed. I am here. Yes, folks, the road to WrestleMania is starting off with the Royal Rumble matchup, which is one of the big four WWE has of their crown jewels of their wrestling pay per views. And this time, the Royal Rumble will be in San Antonio, Texas, the home of Shawn Michaels. There are quite a few good storylines going on here. The possibilities of endless possibilities of who could win the Royal Rumble are up in the air. There's no clear cut favorite, unlike there was last year when it was basically Roman Reigns against everybody else. There's a lot of storylines here: Goldberg, Brock, The Undertaker. A lot of good things going on here and happening. So look for it to be an explosive, pay per view, and look for some great matchups, and look for the storylines to continue to further along the road to WrestleMania, which is, we know, the Super Bowl of pro wrestling and WWE's pay per views. So the kickoff show is right up front. So let's go right ahead and let's begin to dig in on it. So let's jump right on into to my prediction. I'll give you my predictions, tell you who I think will win, giving you opinions on it. So hope you enjoy, and let's get right into it, folks. Because we've been putting in the mouth. All right, first matchup we see is during the kickoff show. Remember, the kickoff show starts off at 5 Eastern time, 4 Central. We're going to have quite a few matches on here, special guests, before the actual pay-per-view starts. And we see that, oddly enough, the WWE Tag Team, Raw Tag Team Championships are up for grabs, as we have Cesaro teaming with Sheamus, your current WWE Raw Tag Team Champions, defending against longtime rivals a great tag team in the Club. You have Luke Gallows and you have Carl Anderson, the Club. They've been due for a long time, folks. We've seen they've been a force to reckon with in the tag team division. Is this their chance to gain those titles during this pay per view? And I don't see it happening. I At least at this pay per view. I think maybe the next one they will, but I just don't see it happening here. Title change at this one, right before the big one. I just see that. I think somehow with 2 referees assigning this match, things will happen, and it'll fall towards the way of Cesaro and Sheamus. They've learned to work together, to put their differences aside. They've become a cohesive unit. Now they are able to go on, and they have successfully defended their titles against the New Day, and they have been successful in their title defenses so far. But do I see them retaining the titles? Yes, I do. Do I think they will through WrestleMania? That remains to be seen. We'll see when I have my WrestleMania prediction show for you. So my choice will be for this prediction for this matchup will be Cesaro and Sheamus retaining their WWE Raw Tag Team titles over Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. So this will be my first prediction for the pay per view. So let's just jump right on into it and head off to the next matchup. We only taking what was out. So you better not be the one to get it. So we see another matchup here on the kickoff show. We see Sasha Banks taking on Nia Jax. This has been a feud within the making the last month or so since Sasha Banks has come back. We've seen Nia Jax interfere even with Charlotte going on. We've seen tag team matches and whatnot going on here lately. Nia Jax has been a monster. She has debuted on the main roster. She has had a lot of matches. Granted, they've been jobber matches, but I see the point in trying to make Nia Jax seem kind of destroying like Braun Strowman has over on the men's side. Sasha Banks, of course, she's a multi-time women's champion. But she's been injured here as of late. She did have a little sneak attack on Nia Jax on this last edition of Raw, and she used a crutch to beat her, to beat her with. But you see, Nia didn't really seem as all phased by it, whether it was either bad selling or the fact that it didn't have no effect on her. But I just, in this matchup, I see Nia Jax taking it. I don't see, if you look at it logically, as you pit the two together, yes, Sasha Banks, the boss, is resourceful. She has come through some big matchups, but I see Nia Jax as being a whole nother force that she has yet to face in this women's division. So, and I see Nia Jax as someone, it's time she's debuted on the main roster. It's time for her to start taking on the women in the division rather than just jobbers that she's been dealing with. And this will be a test of her of this. Now, I know Nia Jax is a legit, she has done pretty good in NXT, but now this is, like I said, the main roster. This is a step up, a gear up. So she's got to show what she's made of, and no other women's competitor then it would be a good idea to show that against, rather than the boss, Sasha Banks. So my prediction will be Sasha Banks losing to Nia Jax, but I do look, and hopefully this will be a good matchup. So my choice and prediction will be Nia Jax will defeat Sasha Banks in this matchup. Cause we gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind. So you think of San Antonio, you think of WWE. Who comes to mind? Is it the Heartbreak Kid, HBK, Shawn Michaels, Mr. WrestleMania? Yes, indeed, folks. Shawn Michaels will be a special guest on the the Royal Rumble kickoff show. He won't be participating. He won't be one of the contenders or entrants in the matchup, but he will make an appearance, which is only fitting, it being 30 years. When it being 30 years in San Antonio of having the Royal Rumble. So good to see HBK there. It's always a good pleasure seeing him in the ring. Good work technician, charisma. He had all that. And it's good to see him making his guest spot here on WWE's Royal Rumble. We gon' blow your mind. Okay, whoa. We been on the road from the go. Hit my blow. We've been down for too long to give up. Can't go, I need all face souls. Want it all, case closed like a wild to the wild, can't. Okay, and before we get into this, I'll step out real quick and just hold on, and we'll get into the in-depth analysis of Bayley and taking on Charlotte Flair for the Raw Women's title. So just hold tight. Be right back. And Charlotte Flair taking on Bayley in this Raw Women's Championship matchup. You have a David versus Goliath scenario, as Bayley is your typical Daniel Bryan-esque, where she's too small. Nobody's favoring her to win. You have her going against a champion like Charlotte Flair in a quote league of her own. It's in her bloodline, a pure athlete. She's held the women's Raw championship for 15-0 in her title defenses. Bayley has struggled coming through the ranks since she's been called up. She didn't skyrocket to the top like Charlotte did. So I just think this is a good matchup. The feud has started even when they came up together. Through NXT, and you've seen Charlotte come up first, being called up first, and along with and with Becky Lynch and with Sasha Banks. You've seen these ladies come up and they have exploded onto the scene. Bayley is a newcomer. She's only been here a little while. She's trying to find her way. She feels that she's already defeated Charlotte twice. She feels like she can defeat Charlotte and gain that WWE Raw Women's Championship. Charlotte, on the other hand, Charlotte has been to me, 2016 was her year. I felt like she came up through. Her ring work, her promo work has really come through. She is a legit heel women's contender, a women's champion. Bayley is your lovable hugger, face type, challenger, and I just feel like it's had a good feud. I feel like the storyline has been good. I will choose and say that I feel like in this matchup that Charlotte will retain her title. Bayley will not quite get close, but no cigar. But I feel like a rematch at WrestleMania will kind of change the tide with Bayley and Charlotte and in their feud. But for right now, for this particular one in the Royal Rumble, I just feel like Charlotte will go to 16-0 in her title defenses on pay-per-views for the Raw Women's title. So my prediction will be that Charlotte will retain against Bayley in this matchup. So it's going to be a good matchup, but I think Charlotte's going to come out in the end and retain her title.
To the ball game, oh, but these boys can't hold me. The boys can't hold us. You better be the one to
All right, Rich Swann, your WWE Cruiserweight Champion, taking on the so-called King of the Cruiserweights, Neville. Neville has made an impact that has been sent shockwaves through the Cruiserweight division, as we have seen Neville since his re-debut, and he come his time back from his injury has made an impact that has felt through. And Rich Swann has been your WWE Cruiserweight champion this time. You know, he's flamboyant. He's very likable, fun, cool dances. Like, it's on good with the crowd, you know. And he's your typical face carrying this title. But my prediction is going to be, I feel like this will be my first title change in this prediction show. I feel as if Neville has a strong enough force and strong enough push since he has gotten back to be your new cruiserweight champion. I feel like he's gonna. He and Rich are going to put on a good matchup. I feel it's going to be a really good matchup for a cruiserweight match and title match. But I just feel that Neville has the edge right now, and the aggressiveness and motivation to gain and that WWE Cruiserweight title. So I feel as if Neville is going to defeat and become your new WWE Cruiserweight champion in this feud. And that's been a good feud, a good back and forth. But I think that Neville will gain that WWE Cruiserweight championship from Rich Swann this Sunday at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. So let's just continue on into it and see what's next.
Cause we've been putting in the mouth. We only taking what was ours.
Okay, this is a 6-woman tag team match on from the women on SmackDown. At the Royal Rumble, we have the 3 ladies of Nikki Bella. We have Naomi and Becky Lynch, and they're taking on the WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Alexa Bliss, the returning after a long hiatus, Mickie James, and Natty, of course, is your lady heel of SmackDown. So, of course, you know, you've got your face, your women. You've got Nikki Bella, Becky Lynch, and Naomi. And on the side where you feel like the faces will win, here you have a lot of conniving going on, and the aggressiveness that Natty has been in this, the very underhandedness that Mickie James has been the last few weeks, assisting Alexa Bliss in her matchups against Becky Lynch and defeating Becky Lynch. And here you have, of course, the little 5-foot misfit herself, Alexa Bliss. And I'm feeling like I'm going to say I think Nikki Bella and Naomi and Becky Lynch will get the win here. I'm just going down on Lynch. Just, to me, folks, this is evenly could go either way. I don't see one side really having an overwhelming argument, at least in my opinion, of this win. So I'm going to just say and stick with the faces, and I'm going with Nikki Bella, Naomi, and Becky Lynch getting this win over Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, and Natty. So we'll see some fireworks happen in this match. There's a lot going on. but that's who I'm going to pick in this 6-woman tag team matchup from the women of SmackDown.
So you better be the one to go. Cause we gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind. When I was back.
Here we go. Now, see, folks, this is where you like seeing that coming in. You're having this has been what we've been part of what we've been waiting for, and I will get into that matchup in just a second. So just hold tight, and we'll see what goes on, and we'll get into this matchup in just a minute. Yes, this matchup is one I've been looking forward to that has had a long standing rivalry since AJ Styles made his appearance in last year's Royal Rumble. Surprise entrant number 3. I felt like this has been a good rivalry, folks. This is the kind of rivalry, so granted, Cena's been out for a few months. AJ's been feuding with Dean Ambrose and James Ellsworth and among other things since John Cena's been out. Cena's came back. Cena's kind of had this sort of heelish act. I feel like over the past, since he's returned, about him being John Cena. He is who he is, and him being upset because he's been called a part timer and he's doing Hollywood and all these other things. And people like AJ Styles, who is the champ that runs the camp, which AJ Styles is a favorite of mine. I have been an AJ Styles fan since he was in TNA, and I started watching him. His athleticism, he's gotten better on the mic over time. The success he obtained in TNA, going over to New Japan, obtaining success there. The Bullet Club now coming to WWE. Now he's their WWE World Heavyweight Champion over on the SmackDown brand. John Cena, the 15-time champion, looking for his 16th to tie the Nature Boy, Ric Flair's 16 world titles that he has held over his prestigious career. They have went back and forth. Both have been taking jabs at each other. AJ has he is up on Cena in their matchups, but this is the Royal Rumble. I mean, I've seen a lot of reports over the different ways that first I felt like Cena was going to win it and get it and go to Royal Rumble, but then now I've seen reports that AJ may retain the title and go on. So who knows what? But I'm going to make my prediction now, and I'm going to say that I feel like AJ Styles is going to retain. I do. I feel like AJ Styles will retain the title through something, whether it be, I know it's not going to be a clean pin. Cena's just not going to have another clean pin in this. So whether it's an interference, whatever it may be, I just feel like AJ Styles will retain it and go into the WrestleMania as your WWE World Champion over on the Blue brand. So I feel like AJ is going to, of course, put on a phenomenal matchup, as he is a phenomenal one. John Cena, he'll pick up John Cena and carry him along for the ride because Cena can't wrestle anyway. But he is a champion, former champion, and whatnot. And he does got some strings he can pull, being in the back like he has he has grown into. As far as being a face and the face of WWE. So I just got this hunch. I feel like AJ is going to retain it. So my prediction for the WWE Championship over on the Blue brand SmackDown Live is going to be AJ Styles retaining it. So let's move on to the next matchup.
Back home washing them dishes, I was just wishing I could just bitch and I was gonna get it. I was on missions, I was just living, walking that building, we were just building, taking our time, we were just chilling, away from these haters, know they be watching like a theater. Not these niggas that we need later, they gon' be greater, sit on D-layers, this is what.
Now this is where I see it going the opposite way. Now we've got the red brand, the flagship of WWE Raw. This will be a WWE Universal title matchup between the longest reigning WWE Universal Champion, KO Kevin Owens, taking on Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal title, and suspended high above will be Chris Jericho. He will be in a shark cage because they've had problems in their feud that Chris Jericho has helped his best friend in these matchups, and Roman Reigns wanted to make sure that Jericho somehow was able to retain would be not be an interference in this matchup. So while they're fighting, Chris Jericho will be suspended high above the ring in a Shark Tank, and I feel like this will be a title exchange. I feel like Roman Reigns, because he lost the U.S. Funny thing is, he lost the U.S. title to Chris Jericho a couple weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago, and now he's challenging, and he's got this WWE Universal Championship matchup where he's going to potentially win the title. Now, how great a booking is that to have him drop the U.S. title to gain the WWE Universal title, as it is called? But I have enjoyed KO being champion. He's been, they haven't really represented well, which sometimes SmackDown and Raw don't, represent their champions well, especially our heels. But Roman didn't care about the U.S. title. I'll make it a point that out because he never did. All he seemed like he cared about was the Universal title to begin with. It's like a consolation prize to him. But I just feel like Roman Reigns is going to end up walking out. You're not going to have Cena and Reigns both lose. So I feel as if Roman Reigns will end up gaining and being your new WWE Universal Championship, which will be a huge, huge sadness falling over the WWE Universe and the WWE Internet Wrestling community, as nobody wants to see Roman Reigns win. Maybe except the children and women. Granted, they'll win it, but KO has been a delight to watch. He's fun. He's a good character. I'm glad he's had the title, but I think they're going to turn it and pass it over to Roman Reigns in the Royal Rumble. So my choice and pick for this matchup will be Roman Reigns becoming your new WWE World Universal Champion. So let's get it right along.
Well, niggas, we got old nigga, probably roll baby. Probably just leave. I see you later. I salute Wega. Cop a new crib. Got some new niggas. You get this big, they gon' want favors. They gon' want favors. Probably roll baby. Hope the Lord save us away from these haters.
Last but not least, folks, and this is going to be the most difficult thing to choose. Over the last few weeks, we've seen a lot of different scenarios in what's going on here. We've seen spots lost, i.e., such as Seth Rollins on last week's Raw losing to Sami Zayn. He losing his spot, essentially. Stephanie told Seth Rollins he had to face Sami Zayn. If Sami Zayn won, Sami Zayn would get a spot in. But if Seth lost, Seth would lose his spot. Now, Triple H's music comes on, interferes and diverts Seth Rollins' attention. He comes back to Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, of course, gets to roll up for the pin to 1, 2, 3. Sami Zayn is in the Royal Rumble. Seth Rollins is out. So I know something's going to happen here because it's been speculated that Seth Rollins was going to take on Triple H at WrestleMania. It's only a month or so away. So you got to have something building up the next couple pay-per-views or next going on leading up to the road to WrestleMania. And I just think it's going to start here. The Royal Rumble has been known throughout time as having surprise entrants, debuts for some, such as, like I said, AJ Styles debuted last year. You got some people like Samoa Joe or Kenny Omega may appear. Finn Balor may make his return since coming back from injury. You may have some legends come in. You just never really know who's going to show up. But it's going to be, as always, an ecstatic and very unpredictable Royal Rumble matchup. And as we've seen on this last edition of Raw, the three final men in the matchup, you've seen The Undertaker in the ring with Goldberg and with Brock Lesnar. Will we see something potential? I think something's going to happen between Brock and Goldberg because I've been hearing chatters, and I know you probably have too, of those two potentially having a matchup at WrestleMania. So don't look for Brock or Goldberg to win this Royal Rumble. So is it case for The Undertaker? Will The Undertaker get one final shot at a WWE title? Will he he's on the SmackDown brand, so it would be a shot at the WWE World title. But if Undertaker wins, I'm going to make a prediction and say he will. That's what I'm predicting. I've been going back and forth with this. Been very difficult in my decision. So many different storylines have played out, but I just feel like right now the Undertaker is riding off into the sunset, and I just see him getting that one last shot at a title. So my bold prediction, I'm going to lock it in, and I'm going to say the Undertaker will win the 2017 WWE Royal Rumble match itself with all 30 competitors coming this Sunday from from San Antonio, Texas at the Alamo Dome, 30 years to the day. So that's who I'm picking for my matchup. So I hope you all enjoy the show. I hope that you all enjoy this video. Drop a like on it. Subscribe to my channel if you want more content. And until next time, this is Bill Mack. Enjoy the pay-per-view, and we'll see you next time.